In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the range. So I'd like you to look first here at these two basketball teams. They're little stick people basketball teams. These 5 players are on one team. The shortest player here is 1 centimeter tall, and then 3, 5, 7, and 9 centimeters. So that's team A. And then over here we have team B. And they've also lined up in order of height. And first we have the shortest player is 4 centimeters, then 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 6 centimeters. So I'd like you to think about how you might describe the heights of these basketball teams. If you were comparing them to each other, I mean, you could list all of the heights of all of the players. That would be for sure one strategy, but it's not always a very efficient strategy. If we're trying to compare sets of numbers, sometimes we look at the measures of sexual tendency, the mean, the median, and the mode. Now, neither of these teams have a modal height. There are no modes because there are no numbers that repeat. They've already lined up according to height for us. So the median height on this team A here is 5 centimeters, because that's the middle player when they're in order. And this team is already in height order as well, so the median height here is also 5 centimeters. So they have the same median. And actually, if you calculated the mean as well, if you added up the heights and divided by 5 for each team, you would also get 5 centimeters. So there's no way with the measures of sexual tendency to describe, there's a pretty important difference here between these two teams. So sometimes when we're studying measures of sexual tendency, we also talk about the range, which is not a measure of sexual tendency because it's not about the middle, but it tells us it basically describes the difference between these two teams. So basically this team, team A here, their heights are very spread out. And we have really tall players and really short players. And then these players on team B, they're all pretty close to the same height. So actually there's a measure of spread. So we call this just spread if it's more spread out or less spread out. There's a measure of spread called the standard deviation, which is a very useful measure of spread in a lot of circumstances. But that's actually pretty hard to calculate. So first, what most people learn about, and what you're learning about in this video, is the range. So the range is a bit simplistic because it doesn't account for sort of every difference, but it's really convenient because it's very easy to calculate and talk about. To find the range of a set of data, so say we want to find the range in team A's heights here. All we need to think of is the biggest number and the smallest number, and we just see how much difference there is there. So the range in team A's heights is 9 centimeters minus 1 centimeter is 8 centimeters. And for the range in team B's height here, we do the same thing. We compare the biggest and smallest players and we see how much difference is there. So between 6 and 4 centimeters, there's just 2 centimeters difference. So the range on team B's heights is just 2 centimeters. So if we have a range of 8 centimeters compared to a range of 2 centimeters, that tells us in one number that team A's heights here are much more spread out, an 8 centimeter difference, and team B, all of them were within just 2 centimeters of each other. Okay, so you should probably copy this down along with the title, the range. So to calculate the range, you just do the biggest number and you subtract the smallest number. So here's 2 examples, the ones that we just talked through. The range of team A's height was 8 centimeters and team B's height was 2 centimeters. And because the range is bigger, that tells us that their heights are more spread out. Okay, good luck with it.